Hi, it's Nick on the 17th of August with episode 4 of Understanding Resistance. So today I'm taking an aspect of resistance, and perhaps we could think that actually all resistance is self-defeating behaviour. And maybe it is. Maybe partly semantics, but I think of an element of resistance as being the ways that we defeat ourselves, and by that I mean, we know we want to do something and we don't do it, and then we get angry with ourselves. We don't follow through on things. Opportunities come our way, but we don't follow up on them, that kind of thing. We don't put ourselves out there like we have. And one school of thought says, our job is to fight self-defeating behaviour. There's a song that was out a few months ago called I forgot the name of the title, but it was the Black Star Riders, and the first line of the song was vulnerability, there ain't no place for it in this life. And it was a rock song and it was a kind of macho song, but there is that belief that says, well, no, I don't do fear, I don't do resistance, I don't do vulnerability, I've got to eliminate it from my life. So we fight resistance and we fight self-defeating behaviour. So that's one way of looking at how we do it. And I've certainly spent some of my life doing that. And I guess I'm, more of a subscriber now into that whole thing of like what we resist persists, what we fight, we in a way kind of strengthen and keep going. So I've shifted more recently into what I would call looking at the positive intent of self-defeating behaviour, and perhaps it's because I'm getting older now and just kind of diving deeper into things. But when I look at how I still undermine myself, and I still do, I'm not saying I'm through this by any means, far from it. I see myself as still in the trenches and still learning. And as I learn more about my own kind of self-defeating behaviour, I'm increasingly of the kind of having compassion for it rather than fighting it, because what I tend to see more these days is that my self-defeating, what appears to be self-defeating behaviour is actually like I suppose I would call it like an archaic attempt to keep me safe, to keep me out of danger, to keep me out of bad things happening to me. So if I have, my kind of project over the last few years has been to move into the whole area of leadership and leading through inspiration, and I felt incredible resistance internally to doing that. But when I step back, I go, because part of me is terrified to put myself out as a voice in the area of leadership. Who do I think I am? I'm going to get attacked, I'm going to get judged, and all those things. I'm going to get put down, I'm going to be vilified, all those fears that I have running in my head. So if I do have all those fears running in my head, it would make sense to save myself from those possibilities. So in a way, my resistance has been going, well, okay, if it's scary for you to do that, don't do it. Just don't go there. So I've begun to see that my resistance often actually has a very positive intention to it, which is to keep me safe. So I think what I'm seeing now is the invitation often in resistance is to, I suppose I would call it, grow in maturity, grow in resourcefulness, grow in confidence, so that we can put ourselves in these new situations of being creative, being in leadership, being inspired, showing up in the world, but do it with a level of confidence and resourcefulness that if those kind of scary things happen to us, we can handle them. So the job isn't to hold ourselves back to keep ourselves safe, but to show up and be safe, if that makes sense. How do we show up? How do we put ourselves into the world? How do we share our voice and keep ourselves safe at the same time? So I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this, because I feel like I've been going through a shift, in the last few years around this myself, because then it invites me into a very different relationship with my resistance. Instead of fighting it and kind of trying to overcome it, if that makes sense, it's more about saying, how are you trying to help me? What is the positive intent of what you're trying to do here? Let me understand the good that you're trying to do for me. And then perhaps, I have a conversation with it and say, well, I'm so grateful for you having this positive intent of wanting to keep me safe and wanting to keep me away from fears. How could we achieve this in a more grown-up way? How could we achieve this in a more mature way? Because then, in a way, the good intent feels validated. And then, perhaps it's like a little child in us that has been running the show to some extent, that could actually help us run the show, but in a much more mature way. and in a much more expansive way, in a much more mature, you know, I like the word mature, but in an expansive way, that it's not about holding ourselves back, but it's about showing up with confidence, with boundaries, with appropriate protection, and not holding ourselves back. So I'd love your thoughts. You know, what's your attitude towards resistance? Do you see it as an enemy that you have to fight, or do you see it as something that maybe actually is trying to inform us and help us grow, and actually has positive intent that we can build on and blossom as beings into, you know, more expansive, creative, powerful versions of ourselves? I'd love to hear your thoughts. That's my thought for today. Hope it's helpful to you. God bless. Have a good day. Bye bye.